Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 192. My name is Jason Erpeling. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com. Remember the dash to save the cash, and buyandsellDVC.com.
What shirt are we wearing here today? What is this?
I am wearing, this is the Maple Meadows Golf Course. This is the golf course that our buddy Chris Malik from the Edcott Group manages.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
No, it's up in Chicago.
Gotcha.
It's in Chicago. He sent it to me because he works there, and he's a good friend of ours, and he sent me the shirt, which was very nice of him. I've worn it several times on the show. I have one in blue as well, but I think that one's a little tighter on me now, unfortunately. But hopefully in a little bit I'll be able to wear that. I'll drop a little weight.
And today is October 9th, 2024, which means the 11th month window is September 9th, 2025. And the 7th month window is May 9th, 2025. And we're going to get right into the buy and sell side of things. And really, I just want to touch on something because it seems to be a much wider gap now that Disney has right of first refusal. Don't get me wrong, they will always have right of first refusal, but they're not acting on right of first refusal, meaning like in 2022, a lot of contracts were, if they were below a certain point, Disney would buy it back. Now it seems like it's almost, there's no, like everything's going to make it through right of first refusal. Of course, it still has to go through the seller. You still have to find a seller that's willing to accept a below market offer, if you will. But Disney really hasn't been buying anything back. So like before I started this episode, I looked, there's 192 Saratoga Springs on the market, and they range from as little as $88 a point to $160 a point. So that is a very big gap. So I understand if you're a buyer out there, that range can look a little confusing or a little frightening, because in the past, if you go back, 6-7 years, the range for the listings at Saratoga, I would say it'd be a $12 range. There'd be one, say, listed at 115 up to 127, and that'd be the range that they were in. They didn't have this huge swing. So when someone says, well, what should I offer on the listing? It's kind of hard to answer that question right now, because first of all, you need to know what price per point you're looking at, because I will say some of these Saratoga Springs properties are overpriced, and they're not going to get $160 a point. And of course, you may find out that the seller has it listed because of some straight crazy reason. They don't even want to sell it. That's why it's so high. But you have to look at the number of points on the deed, because I will say a smaller point deed, a 25-point deed, is in higher demand. It's going to bring a higher price per point than a 600-point deed. There's not as many people looking to buy a 600-point deed as a 50-point deed. And then you also have to look at, does the account have banked points in it? So we're into October of 2024. I mean, you could be looking at something with a December use year that has all banked points from 2023, all the points from 2024. So you're starting out with 2 years of points, or you could be looking at a December use year that has no points until December 1st, 2025. So, you're talking about losing 2 years of points versus gaining 2 years of points. So you have to factor in those things. And you can always reach out to me and, Jason at buyandsellDVC.com and say, hey, I'm looking at this listing here. I'm thinking about making an offer. What should I offer on? And I'll be happy to, to try and guide you on that. But, as a buyer, you just, don't, and you also don't want to get into, what do they say? Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
So you don't want to say, well, this person over here is claiming that they got a Saratoga Springs for this price per point. We don't know the full details. What exactly is the status of that? Kind of how many points was it deeded for? How many banked points? So don't try and chase, and duplicate, a price per point exactly that someone else got, because you may not ever do that, because, it might have been a certain situation with the seller. So But we'd be happy to guide you on the on what to offer on different properties. We'd be happy to help.
I'm just excited that you brought out the comparison is a thief of joy reference. That's awesome. I love that quote.
It is.
It's Teddy Roosevelt, I think.
I'm not 100%
Is it
sure.
Teddy Roosevelt? Yes, the Teddy Roosevelt quote. Since I have production crew on the side to confirm it. Yep, Teddy Roosevelt, comparison is the thief of joy. Nicely done.
And now we're on to the food review of the week.
All right, Ty, roll the thing.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So previously, I had mentioned that we stayed at the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and we wanted to try out the new Trails End quick service, which previously it was the buffet. Now it's a quick service restaurant. We tried the family-size smokehouse pizza. So this is house-smoked brisket, sausage, and pepperoni for $22.99. Wow, the pizza was absolutely loaded with toppings, and it's pretty decent value. The cheese was barely melted on it. The crust was much thicker, and it kind of tasted like something that you get in the grocery store, for like boboli, something like it was. It was definitely not a regular dough, probably just like a frozen disc that they use. Taste was fair. The value compared to many items at Disney actually was very good. Overall, I say it's probably like a 6.5. I mean, if you've got a bunch of kids or, you know, whatever it is, like if you're looking for like a good amount of food for the money, this was a great deal. The kids, I'm sure, won't mind it. I mean, it was definitely not a bad pizza. It wasn't really what I was expecting. But I mean, Disney property, $23 for a whole pizza loaded with toppings. It's kind of hard to beat that. So again, value-wise, fantastic. Taste-wise, fair. Again, it's really kind of hard to mess up pizza. Like even bad, like not great pizza, frozen pizza, still pretty decent. It's pizza. So 6.5, great value. Just don't expect too much out of it and you'll be happy.
And now we're on to the DVC-rental side of things.
So I'm going outside the box here a little bit, and I wanted to talk about Universal City Walk because I was watching a video on TikTok a couple nights ago, and you know it was all about you can go over to Universal City Walk after 6 o'clock. Parking is free. Normally it's $32 to park during the day, but after 6 you go to the restaurants and it's free. You can walk around, you can shop, go to the restaurants, you can take a boat back over to like some of the resorts and walk around and eat there. And I was like, we haven't been over to Universal in such a long time. We don't have passes anymore. So I was like, let's do this. I was trying to schedule a dining reservation at Toothsome Chocolate Emporium. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Not really. I know you don't do Universal too much. I'll do a review on that in the coming weeks because we did go there, but we had to do a couple weeks in a row because it kept getting rained out. But so we show up, we're excited about this. We're finally, the weather's decent. We pull in there, we wait till after 6 o'clock, tons of cars going in because everybody's got the same idea. And we roll up and it's $32 to park. Because 5 of the 7 nights of the week, they have Halloween Horror Nights right now. And anytime there's a Halloween Horror Nights, there's no free parking after 6. So only Mondays and Tuesdays can you actually get said free parking. Otherwise, you wait in line and you're stuck there and all of a sudden they go $32 for parking. So even if you're going to just go to dinner, you get hosed with that $32 parking fee, which is what we did. We could have probably turned around by saying, you know, we've been waiting for the rain and we got the kids loaded up and they were excited to go. So we just sucked up and paid $32 for parking. But you have to be careful with that one. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, it's very similar to Disney Springs, lots of restaurants. I mean, clientele at City Walk and Universal, so much different than Disney. I mean, everybody just walk around, just bras on top and like shorts on the bottom. I mean, there was barely anybody that wasn't in the 20 to like 30-year-old range. I mean, it's all young, lots of teens and 20s, and it just very, very different. Not Disney atmosphere at all. Party atmosphere, music blasting. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but just something to think of. Just very, very different than Disney. And again, right now, Halloween Horror Nights is going on for a while. watch out for this issue. I guess when Halloween Horror Nights is over, I'm assuming parking will go back to being free. I'm not sure if they do anything for Christmas that will really affect it. Probably not. But right now, Mondays and Tuesdays are the only nights you can go for free. So if you're thinking of doing this, if you're thinking of going and having some fun, again, really cool atmosphere. Check it out. Monday or Tuesday night, though.
So what are the different places? Because I want to say that I went to City Walk like when it I want to say it opened like in the late 90s, and I was there maybe like in 99. And I know I went back there again one time when LL Cool J was performing or something. But like I was back in the day when like NBA City was there. Remember that or no?
Not really, but
and then there was an Irish bar. I don't know if that's still there.
Pat O'Brien's is still there.
That's it.
It's Jimmy Buffett's. You've got a Hard Rock Cafe, the Toothsome Emporium. Like there's a Cowfish, Panda Express. There's a lot like smaller places too that like a Panda Express, like more takeout stuff. A couple bigger restaurants, NBC. I forget what's called, the NBC restaurant there. But lots of stores.
But is it mainly just like clubs for like the 20-year-olds? No.
There's only a few clubs. There are clubs there, but there's only a few. But it's most just people just walking around. I think a lot of it was probably for Halloween Horror Nights. It brought in a lot of a younger crowd. Whereas if you go on a Monday or Tuesday, it's probably it's not exactly what I'm explaining. But I mean, we were walking around there. I'm just like, oh, this is not Disney. And also, we're walking past a bunch of kids. I hear, hey, is that Trent over there? Who's my oldest son. So he saw friends that he knew walking around as well. But I mean,
so then did he ditch you? And he's
no. we were leaving at that time. It was starting to drizzle, and we were getting out of there. But
I was like, oh, you lost him.
we definitely have to go back again because it's a lot of fun. Everything is lit up beautifully. There's music and there's so much stuff going on. But like we went to dinner and then we just swung by Universal to the front gates just to like look and see what the Halloween Horror Nights looked like inside. And once we came out of the restaurant, it was raining, like decently. We didn't use the umbrellas, but I mean it was raining enough. We're getting decently wet and it's kind of cold, so we just kind of started leaving. We wanted to do a lot more shopping and looking around and stuff, but it was definitely definitely different. And I'll go back. It was fun. I was all for it. So I'll go back, but I'm not going to pay $32 to park just to have dinner. I will make sure we go tonight when parking is free after 6 o'clock. And again, right now, Mondays and Tuesdays.
Nice.
But we got hosed.
That's yeah. It's been a while since I've been at.
I was not happy. I was not happy when I pulled up. I'm like, we specifically waited until after 6 for the free parking, and it's like $32. I'm like, it's not even like like a reasonable type fee. We're like,
wait, isn't Disney parking only 25?
It might have gone up since then. I mean, it was 25. It may have gone up, but either way, you're sitting there going, I'm just going to dinner. To spend $32 to go park somewhere to go to dinner kind of stinks. But I said, we're already here. Everybody's looking forward to it. I'm not going to ruin it and say, forget this, we're leaving, and be a grumpy old man. But I wanted to. I wanted to be a grumpy old man, but had a lot of fun. And I'll definitely.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. I wish the weather was better, and I'll definitely be back to check out all the stores and all different restaurants and stuff. And again, I've got some toothsome reviews coming up sometime soon.
Sounds good.
All right, you want to lead us out? Yeah, we end on that note. So that's it.
That's it. We'll see you next week. And
thank you so much for watching. Check out all of our social stuff: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. You listen to the podcast on Podbean. We're also on some other stuff. I'm looking at one of my producers, Ty, right now. I'm just on Podbean right now for podcasts. I thought we were trying to get into something else as well for like Apple or something.
Podbean branches out, so I forget what all we're on. I think we're on Amazon.
Maybe we're on Amazon, a bunch of places. But if you go on Podbean, you can search for us. Or I always share it on Facebook every single week as well when this is released on Wednesdays. So please feel free to watch us, and we appreciate you guys.
See you next week.